Title: Echoes in the Snow. Chapter 1: The Arrival. In the dead of winter, amidst the relentless howling of the Arctic wind, Ethan arrived at the secluded coastal home he had inherited from a distant relative. The house, perched precariously on the edge of a cliff, was a forgotten relic of a bygone era, its gray, weather-beaten exterior stark against the pristine white snow. The waves crashed below, their rhythm hypnotic, yet menacing in the frigid twilight. As Ethan stepped inside, the door groaned in protest, and a chill ran through him despite the thick winter coat he wore. The interior was dimly lit by the feeble glow of a single oil lamp he found in the entryway. Dust and cobwebs adorned every surface, a testament to years of neglect. Ethan's unease grew as he unpacked his belongings, the silence of the house amplifying the slightest sounds, creaking floorboards, the occasional drip of melting snow from the eaves. Chapter 2: The First Night. That night, the snowstorm intensified, its fury rattling the windows and creating an eerie, constant roar. As Ethan tried to sleep, he was haunted by whispers, soft, indistinct murmurs that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere. He dismissed them as the result of exhaustion and the storm's relentless battering against the house. Yet, sleep eluded him, and the whispers persisted, growing more insistent, as if trying to pierce the veil of his consciousness. Chapter 3: The Voices. The following morning, Ethan discovered old journals scattered in a corner of the attic. The journals belonged to his great-uncle, a reclusive man rumored to have gone mad. The entries spoke of a presence in the house, an entity that whispered secrets and horrors into the ears of its inhabitants. As he read, Ethan felt a chill settle over him. The voices he had heard were not just the product of his imagination. Chapter 4: The Obsession. Driven by curiosity and dread, Ethan began to investigate the house's history. The whispers grew louder and more coherent, often forming words and phrases that seemed to taunt him. They spoke of isolation, fear, and despair. Each night, the voices became more distinct, always just beyond the edge of comprehension. Ethan's obsession with uncovering the truth about the house and his great-uncle's fate deepened, even as the whispers began to invade his waking hours, gnawing at his sanity. Chapter 5: The Revelation. One evening, while exploring the basement, Ethan discovered a hidden room behind a false wall. Inside, he found unsettling artifacts, shattered mirrors, blood-stained tools, and faded photographs of his great-uncle, along with mysterious symbols scrawled on the walls. The whispers crescendoed into a cacophony of torment, revealing disturbing truths about ritualistic practices and sacrifices made to appease the entity haunting the house. Ethan realized that his great-uncle's madness was not a result of isolation, but rather a descent into something far more sinister. Chapter 6: The Descent. As the storm raged on, the house seemed to come alive with malevolent intent. The whispers turned into screams, and the walls appeared to pulse with an otherworldly energy. Ethan's grip on reality faltered as he became increasingly paranoid. His only solace was a cryptic note he found in one of the journals, hinting at a way to banish the presence. Desperation drove him to attempt the ritual described, but the entity's power seemed to resist, growing more aggressive in its attempts to break him. Chapter 7: The Confrontation. In the final confrontation, as the storm reached its peak, Ethan performed the ritual in a last-ditch effort to rid the house of its tormentor. The snow outside was blotted out by an unnatural darkness, and the house was engulfed in an oppressive, suffocating silence. Ethan's final act of defiance was met with a terrifying revelation. The presence was not a separate entity, but a manifestation of his own fears and isolation, feeding off his despair. The house, with all its echoes and whispers, was a reflection of his inner turmoil. As the storm finally abated and dawn broke, Ethan was left alone in the aftermath, the whispers silenced, but their impact forever etched in his mind. Epilogue: The Aftermath. Months later, The house stood empty once more, its windows dark and silent. The snow had finally melted, revealing the battered exterior beneath. Locals spoke of the house with a sense of dread and curiosity, while Ethan remained a shadow of his former self, forever haunted by the echoes of the snow.